Am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law to sit down and shut up in front of her new husband? I am 37, grew up with 3 sisters. My mom worked as a seamstress. She had a machine, but as kids we weren't allowed to use it, only the needle and the thread, so my sisters could learn and help. Also design their own clothes as they grew up. I spent most of my childhood sewing, no playing out or hanging with friends. I loved sewing because I got to make my own stuffed toys. Favorites: shirts and scarves. My mother helped tremendously. I was also benefiting by selling the toys I made to other kids. I've gave up on my hobby and got busy with life, but months ago I decided to go back to sewing, so I got the tools I needed and started sewing for HR every day. I was able to make 3 stuffed toys for the kids and currently working on one of my sister's upcoming birthday present. My lovely Sil, 43, got married recently and she and her new husband came to town to visit. We only met him 4 times on formal occasions. They got married fast, this her 3D marriage, and all were younger guys. Maybe she thinks that by marrying young guys she still gets a chance for a baby. Which is, and this might sound misogynistic but, backward logic, but that's not my business. She makes fun of my hobby and has been calling me grandma because I sew every day. She'd joke about it tirelessly and I'd be lying if I say I wasn't getting fed up. So they came Wednesday for dinner. We didn't talk much, and after we finished, Sil was helping my wife put the dessert on the table. Sil was standing with her plate while I quickly grabbed my plate and excused myself to go work on my project. Sil chuckled and said, "Oh, grandma has some sewing to do, ha," then turned to my wife and asked if grandma is still functioning in the bedroom and how she isn't completely turned off by my weird grandma behavior. I looked at her husband for a second and we both had a what the heck moment. To say that I was pissed and embarrassed is an understatement. I told her, well, we have 3 kids so we're doing just fine, and that she had no business asking about private matters and needed to sit down and shut TF up. Sil looked pale and her eyes widened up, visibly upset. The entire room got silent. Sil grabbed her stuff and left shortly. My wife was at the door with her and it sounded like she was crying. My wife started arguing with me the entire sewing session, talking about how I embarrassed her sister in front of her new husband and rubbed our children in her face, knowing how sensitive this topic is for her. Said I was a passive-aggressive butthole for not taking a joke and spoiling the night for them. I pointed out how her sister was being rude, but she said she made an innocent joke, but I went too far with my behavior. Then finished by saying, "I see what you're doing, don't try to alienate me from my sister," then walked out the room. I was upset. I kept sighing the entire time. I apologized later, but she's still mad at me for what happened. AITA. Not the asshole, your wife is in the wrong here as well. Not the asshole your wife is though. She should have put an end to your Sil's, her sister's, bullshit long ago. All this time, instead of demanding that her sister stop disparaging her husband, she enabled it. You reached your limit. You set a boundary rather politely at that. If anyone owes an apology, it is your wife to you. Your Sil thinks for some reason that it's acceptable to come into your house and right in front of you ask your wife if you're still able to get it up, and if so, how she could possibly stand to be with you. If she thinks it's cool to go after that topic totally unprovoked and unfounded, the gloves are pretty much off for any topic. I think your reaction was rather tame compared to what she deserved. Let your wife know that you will be willing to see your Sil again once she has issued an apology for that shit, but not before. Not the asshole. Info: I noticed you never mentioned that you asked Sil to stop. Have you asked her to stop making these jokes? Because from what you wrote it sounds like you never spoke up about her comments bothering you. Then blew up when you hit your limit. If you have 3 kids and a wife, how do you have 4 hours to see each day? Are you helping your wife out with the household duties? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. It's free. Check out some other videos I've made.